Hello everyone. In this module we're going to be looking at something called a transformation. And a transformation is just where we take the graph of a whatever function we want and we move it up, down, left, right, something of that nature. So all we're doing is we're moving a graph around or we're changing its size. But the problem is it's really hard to look at those and understand what's going on with a linear function. So I'm going to introduce to you now a new type of function called an absolute value function. And the absolute value function looks like what you see here. It's shaped like a V. And when written out as an equation, we write y equals x, and then it's in these straight up and down lines that you see right here. Those are called the absolute value bars is what I call them, but they're just straight up and down lines, and they tell you to take what's called the absolute value of x. Now we're not going to worry too much about what absolute value does. Let me write this down here so that you can see what I'm saying. These are called absolute value functions. Alright, so an absolute value function, let's just describe this thing for a few minutes. It is V-shaped. So it's like we have one line that is, and it is a line, it's a straight line that travels straight down here, and it gets to a point, and at that point it completely changes directions. That location where it changes directions has a name that I need you to know, and that is called the vertex. So the vertex of the absolute value function is where the graph changes direction right there. Also interesting to note is that the absolute value function is made of two lines, one going this way and one going this way, and those two lines are going to have the same slope. And for this equation right here, y equals the absolute value of x, which we call the parent function. It's the one we're going to start with on all these transformations. This line right here has a slope of -1, and this line, this side, has a slope of +1. This will always be the case for an absolute value function. The numbers of the slope will be the same, just opposite signs. So if this one has a slope of 2, this one will have a slope of -2. They always have opposite slopes of each other. Alright, so again, this is called an absolute value function. It is split in the middle where it meets and changes direction at a point called the vertex. And each one of these arms coming off of each side is going to have the same slope as a number, but opposite signs. So in this case, the slope is -1 right there, and 1 right there. And again, this is called the absolute value function.